Dior event becomes a magic mirror. Yushi's face is swollen, Deng Wei's mother is angry, but Dilireba can hold on. On the domestic entertainment stage where fashion and entertainment are closely intertwined, an event carefully prepared by Dior kicked off grandly, as if opening a door to a dreamy and luxurious world. On the day of the event, the scene was like a dreamy wonderland falling into the mortal world, and the mall was transformed into a fashionable dream palace, with every corner exuding the ultimate luxury. The venue layout is ingenious, and the gold powder is like fine snowflakes falling, and under the caress of the bright lights, it is shining with dazzling light, as if stars are falling to the earth, and it is like the god of wealth generously scattering real gold and silver, with wealth overflowing and nobleness, instantly filling the atmosphere. The four-story fence is densely packed with onlookers who are looking forward to it. They are like hungry chicks, with eager and fiery eyes, tightly locking the direction of the entrance. In the crowd, some stood on tiptoe, and some stretched their necks, just to be able to capture the amazing moment of the star's entrance at the first time. The expectation was like boiling water, which could burst at any time. Male stars in various forms, embarrassment and surprise under the roller coaster of appearance. The male stars who first stepped into this luxurious battlefield, each carrying the secret weapon carefully crafted by the styling team, tried to shine under the flash, but reality gave them different answers. Yushi appeared in a straight and slim black suit, like a mysterious and elegant knight in the dark night. In the refined picture, his face is like a carefully carved work of art, with sword eyebrows inserted diagonally into the temples, star eyes shining brightly, and although the bridge of the nose is slightly thin, it also adds a bit of playful heroism to the whole face. The wet hairstyle is close to the scalp, and a few strands of unruly hair hang in front of the eyes. This is a bold attempt at the forefront of fashion. If it weren't for his outstanding appearance, he would probably become synonymous with greasy. Occasionally, a side glance, his eyes are as deep as a deep pool, and the shimmering light seems to hide countless touching stories, which can easily capture people's hearts. It's no wonder that he is successful in love with such charm. But when the event ended and he walked out of the venue to leave by car, the enthusiastic fans instantly surrounded the car, and the cheers and shouts intertwined into a passionate movement. Yushi sat in the car with a friendly smile on his face, waving to the fans frequently. But under the fans' lens without any beauty filters, the reality is a bit cruel. His cheeks were swollen, and the originally clear facial lines became blurred. The boundary between his face and his neck seemed to be covered by a thick fog, almost merging into one. He was a world away from the handsome look in the refined photos, as if he had fallen from the clouds into the mortal world. Deng Wei appeared in another posture, and instantly captured everyone's attention with a perfect side face. His high nose bridge was like a towering mountain, hard and straight, his knife-like chin was cold and sharp, combining impeccable jawlines. When he stood quietly, he seemed to be a cold and beautiful man who came from an aesthetic comic, exuding a temperament that kept people away from him. However, the style suddenly changed when the corners of his mouth lifted slightly, revealing that faint smile. His slightly pursed lips were slightly thick, and with the blessing of exquisite makeup, they actually revealed a trace of powder, as if a layer of gauze gently covered his original masculinity, making the word feminine quietly climb into everyone's mind. Looking at his carefully groomed slicked hair, the hair was shiny and a bit dazzling. This style was walking a tightrope between fashion and minefields, which caused people to speculate whether this was the new trend of male star styles. Female star style, the ultimate collision of youth and queen. Compared to the various situations of male stars, female stars blossomed in a different way in this feast, writing their own legends with their looks and temperament. Joey was like a light and agile elf in spring, wearing a light yellow suspender skirt and lighting up the entire venue in an instant. The color of the skirt was just like the first blooming winter jasmine under the warm spring sun, fresh and beautiful, bright and moving, making her as dazzling as a pearl in the crowd. The skirt was exquisitely tailored, tightly fitting her slender waist, showing her gracefulness in a single grasp. She walked gracefully, each step seemed to be on the clouds, light and elegant, and her every move was full of charm. When she picked up the wine glass and took a sip, the picture was so beautiful that it seemed to be still. Her fair skin was like translucent matte fat jade under the light, warm and shiny, without any flaws. The jeweled necklace around her neck swayed and shone with her movements, dazzling, as if she was the daughter of a wealthy family who was pampered and new to the social scene. The vitality of youth and the dignity of the nobility were perfectly integrated in her. Even with the raw photos of her face, her skin was still firm and smooth, and the years seemed to be particularly kind to her, showing her youthful state. However, Dilireba was like a heavy bomb, causing a storm at the event site, and deservedly became the most dazzling presence in the audience. As soon as she appeared, she seemed to have a dazzling light, instantly attracting everyone's attention. Her tall figure stands out from the crowd, her legs are straight and slender, and every step she takes is a confident and heroic drumbeat. Standing in the crowd, she is like a pine tree, upright and eye-catching, and the eyes of people around her are involuntarily plundered by her. The shorter fans in the back row are anxiously holding up their mobile phones, staring at the screen, as if the god behind the mobile phone screen is the one they are thinking about, and they are afraid of missing any of her charm. Dilireba's clothing is unique, abandoning the conventional dress routine that exposes and attracts attention, and choosing a simple but extremely elegant suit. The slim-fitting top outlines her slender waist vividly, and the small waist as big as a palm seems to be held in one hand, with a strong visual impact, which makes people sigh at the partiality of the creator. The wide-leg pants on the lower body move with the wind, making her legs seem to be endlessly extended. When she walks, her aura seems to be substantial, and 2 meters and 80 centimeters are not enough to describe her strength. Standing on the T stage, she was as tall as a pine tree, even taller than the sturdy bodyguard beside her. Her powerful aura was like a king who controlled the whole scene. The makeup was the icing on the cake. The bright base makeup seemed to cast a soft light filter on her face, making her already three-dimensional facial features even more profound and charming. Especially the pair of fox eyes, the eyeliner was slightly raised, and the eyeshadow was smudged to create a mysterious layered sense. It seemed that there was a whole bright starry sky hidden in her eyes. As her eyes moved, charm and coldness intertwined, which was both soul-stirring and dared not be easily profaned. In the retouched picture, she stood in the dim venue, with her chin slyly raised and her eyes looking down, as if she was a god overlooking all living things, interpreting the royal sister style to the fullest. But what really impressed people was her unretouched performance in the raw picture. When the light hit her face without reservation, everyone was surprised that the retouched picture was just like this. Her skin is whiter than snow, with a healthy glow and so delicate that there is no trace of pores. Her facial features are so delicate that they seem like a masterpiece that a master sculptor has devoted his entire life to. Every line is just right, and when combined together, it is an unforgettable beauty. Or a duel, the strength contest behind the C-position competition. When a group of stars appeared collectively, this war without gunpowder entered a white-hot stage. Other young actresses, either newcomers, were inevitably nervous when facing big scenes, or frightened by the luxurious scene, and they were full of flaws when they went on stage. Some of them clenched their bags in their hands, and their knuckles turned white to the force, as if they were shields against fear. Some of them opened their lips slightly, and wandered around the stage in a panic, trying to find a familiar comfort from the crowd. Even if they tried to maintain a cold face, they could not hide their inner tension and crampedness, as if they were lost in the bustling city. However, Dilireba was completely different. Her steps were light and firm, as if there was wind under her feet, and every step was a confident drumbeat. Her eyes were bright and firm. When she scanned the whole venue, she was born with domineering power, as if announcing that this was her home court. Yushi, who was standing beside her, wanted to show humility, but under the strong aura of Dilireba, he was instantly eclipsed, as if he was just her foil. In the Vanity Fair of this Dior event, the stars performed differently. Some were exposed behind the retouched photos, while others withstood the test of raw photos with their excellent appearance and aura. Dilireba proved her status as a top female star born in the 1990s with her strength, standing firmly in the C position and shining brightly. This is not only a competition of fashion and appearance, but also a competition of psychological quality and aura. It allows the audience to see the truest side of the stars under the halo, and also makes people understand that the real charm is never afraid of the scrutiny of the camera, but comes from one's own precipitation and self-confidence. After this feast, the topic of fashion in the domestic entertainment industry has been further highlighted, and the stars have either gained praise or learned lessons from this test and continued on their next star-studded journey.